Yeah, she says we're recording. Okay, let's start lying down. Any comfortable position for you. All right, let's collectively take 3 breaths together, collectively together. We'll take 3 breaths together, just kind of release whatever is going on inside of you, any tension, any thoughts, anything that you don't need. All right, so everyone, let's take an exhale. And then an inhale in through the nose, into the diaphragm, and exhale it all out. Inhale in through the nose, and exhale it out. Last one, deep inhale. Exhale it out, maybe make noise. Softening your body, allowing it to sink down towards the earth. Feeling the connection of different parts of your body on the earth. With every exhale, maybe softening and releasing just a little bit more. So this weekend is the weekend of summer solstice, our longest day of the year, shortest night. So it's a good time to reflect on the light within ourselves. This is our place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. How much light do you project out into the world? Do you light others up with your loving words and kind actions? Today, as you celebrate the sun and the beginning of the summer season, reflect on what it is that you need to do to bring more light inside of you so you can share that with others. Okay, so as we move through our practice today, remember to listen to your body, only do what's comfortable for you. If we come into a pose that doesn't feel good, please feel free to come out and then join us again whenever you are ready. Take breaks along the way if you need to, drink some water, and just try to enjoy movement today. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter if we fall out, we're just moving around on our mat. So making some small movements here in fingers and toes. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. Perhaps you take a big stretch. All right, let's hug both knees in towards the chest. What movements will feel good for you here? Is it rocking? Is it circles? All right, so from here, let's place both feet on the earth about hip distance apart. And we'll find some moving bridges. So pushing your feet into the earth, lift the hips, squeeze the inner thighs, squeeze the glutes. And then exhale to lower. And just moving here at your own pace with your own breath. If you want, you can bring the arms into this movement. So as your hips come up, arms reach up and back behind you, and exhale to lower. And the next time your hips come down to the earth, allowing them to stay there, to soften, allow the low back to soften. And if there's discomfort in your low back still, maybe walking the feet wide on the mat and windshield wipering the knees from side to side. Okay, walking the feet back towards each other, hip distance apart. And let's come into a wind relief pose, hugging the right knee in towards the chest, activating the right foot. And then perhaps that left leg comes long on the earth. Notice where it feels good to send the right knee in towards the chest, maybe over towards the armpit. And just find a nice comfortable rhythm here with your breath in through the nose, into the diaphragm. And long, slow exhales out. From here, I invite you to place your right hand on your right knee. Left hand comes on top of your left hip to anchor it to the earth, and then allowing your leg to drop, right leg to drop over towards the right side. Left hip stays on the earth. All right, let's bring that knee back to center, giving it another hug. And then placing it on the earth. Not the knee, the foot. Hugging the left knee in towards the chest, activate the left foot. Maybe the right leg comes long. Where does it feel good to send that left knee? Softening the shoulders, softening in the forehead. From here, I invite you to keep your left hand on your left knee. Right hand comes to your right hip to anchor it to the earth, allowing the left leg to drop over towards the side. Bringing the left leg back to center, maybe giving the knee one last hug. And then releasing that foot down towards the earth. Whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side. And then slowly making your way up to seated. All right, so any comfortable seated position for you could be crisscross applesauce, butterfly, maybe legs are out long. And we'll just find some movement here. So palms come out towards the side, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sun. And exhale, turning to one side, allow the hands to come down by your sides. Inhale, reach up towards the sun. And exhale, hands come down towards the earth. We'll move back and forth here. Just moving at your own pace. So we'll go one more time in the other direction. And then hands come up to center and down by your sides. From here, let's bring feet to the earth. Knees are bent. And we'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Okay, so whenever you're ready, allowing the knees, sliding everywhere, allowing the knees to drop over towards the right side. Activate your feet as you move around to find a nice comfortable place here. So we're going to turn towards that right leg, and we have two kind of 90-degree-ish angles, okay? So from here, let's bring the right hand down towards the right side. Left arm reaches up and over, find length here along the left side body. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, we'll place that left hand down towards the earth, reach the right arm up and over. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, let's bring the hands in front of that right leg, activate the right foot, and then start to hinge forward from the hips. Good morning, hips. Okay, keeping your feet active, let's walk the hands across and over towards the right side. So you're gonna reach that left hand away from you just a little bit further if you can. Find length here along the left side of your body. Walking your hands back to center towards the right leg, I guess. And then slowly walking your hands back up. We're gonna find joy pose here. So right hand comes down to the earth, reaching the left arm up and over. And if you wish, push into that right hand up onto the knees, lift the hips. Joy pose. Let's see how many times I can make this reference. Opening your heart up towards the sun. Towards the light. That may have sounded bad, I'm sorry. Okay, exhale, come back down. Let's bring the feet wide on the mat and windshield wiper the knees. Towards the sunlight, let's say that. Okay, allowing the knees to drop over towards the left side. Activate your feet as you find that comfortable place to sit. Turning towards the left shin. Left hand comes to the earth, right arm reaches up and over, find length in the right side body, in the ribs, along the waist. And you get to kind of decide how deep you go over, where you place your arms. Unless you're like me, you have a wall in the way, then you don't have much choice. All right, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand comes down to the right side, to the earth. Left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, let's come back to center. Bringing both hands in front of the left shin. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Walk the arms out. Walking the hands over towards the left side. So you're going to go maybe over that left knee, maybe over a little further, whatever feels good. Walk the right hand away a little bit further. Slowly walking your hands back towards center. Walking the hands back up. We'll find our joy pose on this side. Left hand comes to the earth, right arm reaches up and over. Perhaps you stay here, or maybe you shift up onto the knees, lift the hips. Open the heart towards the sun. Maybe we can all imagine we're on that beach that, I don't know if we can see Sheila's background. We're all on that beach. Tropical trees and whatnot. Exhale, slowly come back down. All right. Windshield wiper the knees a couple more times, just to release the hip. All right, let's come into tabletop pose. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. From our tabletop pose, finding any kind of organic movements that feels good for you here. Could be C shape, figure eight, cat cow. All right, let's come into a child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, sitting the hips back. Knees can be together too, if that's more comfortable for you. Arms coming out long, or if you need to, placing stacked fists underneath your forehead. A block can work under there too. Melting your heart down towards the earth. All right, so remember as we go through our practice today that we are connecting to the light within ourselves, our place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. And how do we do that? We have to bring that to ourselves first. Love, light, compassion, and kindness. All right, let's come back to our tabletop pose. Shifting your weight forward, tuck the elbows in and gently lower all the way to the earth. Let's start here with a baby cobra. So reaching both legs long behind you, placing the tops of the feet on the earth. Hands are underneath the shoulders, shoulders roll back and down the spine, elbows tuck in, lift the heart, but look down at the earth. Perhaps you lift the hands up off the earth, squeeze the shoulder blades towards center. And exhale to lower. Making your way into your tabletop pose. In either puppy pose or downward dog. Downward dog, curl the toes under, send the hips up and back behind you. Maybe you pedal out your feet. All right, let's make our way towards the front of the mat into a forward fold. Feet are hip distance apart. As much of a bend in your knees as you need. We don't want any discomfort in the low back, backs of your thighs. Allow the upper body to dangle. Maybe you grasp opposite elbows. Perhaps you sway. What feels good? All right, so let's bring our hands to our waist. Find length in the spine, reach the crown of the head forward and come on up with a flat back. All right, so some half sun salutations here. So feet are hip distance apart, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Sorry, mountain pose. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Palms of the hands turn forward. Reaching the crown of the head up towards the sun. Anyone keeping count of how many times I mentioned the sun? On your inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. On your exhale, with a flat back, slight bend in your knees, swan diving down. Forward fold. Inhale, hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. And exhale to fold. Arms come out to the side and reverse swan dive up. Reach up for the light. Exhale, hands coming to heart center. Again, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up. Extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one. Inhale, extended mountain. Hold the sun in your hands. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, finding your mountain pose. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky, extended mountain. And exhale, swan diving down into forward fold. We'll take a big step back with the left foot. So I'm going to give you a choice, your choice. High lunge, so up on the toes, or warrior one. Left foot comes down towards the earth, toes point up towards the left corner of the mat. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. We want to make sure we have wide stance here. So right foot to the right side, left foot to the left. On the toes. Checking the front knee, making sure it's over the ankle and that you can maybe see your big toe. So you want it in line at the second or third toe. Squaring the hips towards the front of the room. Sorry, front of your mat. Okay, little bit of movement here. So on your exhale, bring the arms back behind you, lengthen the spine, hinge from the hips, fold forward, draw the belly button in. Try not to lean in on that right leg. Use the core nice and tight, bring the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, arms come back behind you, lengthen the spine, reach the crown forward, draw the belly button in. You can decide how active you want the core to be here. Last one, reach up towards the sky. towards the sun. Woo. And then exhale, reach the arms back, draw the head forward. Yes, lengthen the spine. Okay, ready? We have a warrior three. So you're going to shift your weight into your right foot, lift the left foot up off the earth. So toes are going to point down towards the earth. So sometimes we open the hip out, the left hip out towards the side. We want this to square the hips towards the earth. Where would it feel fun to place your arms here? Behind you, beside you, in front of you. Maybe you make some sort of movement. That's the good thing about being at home is you can do whatever you want. Not gonna matter. All right, one more round of breath. And then step that left foot back, warrior one or high lunge. Reach the arms up towards the sun. All right, exhale, hands come down to the earth. Okay, ready? We're gonna move into a side plank. So if you have a variation of side plank that you prefer, feel free to come into that. Or maybe you follow me. I'm gonna come into a variation here. So left knee comes down towards the earth. We're gonna walk that right foot over towards the right side. Reach the left arm up and over. Maybe you come up on the pinky toe edge of the left foot, or maybe you kickstand that left foot back behind you. One more round of breath here. Slowly, very slowly, make your way into a tabletop pose. Wonderful, ready? We're going to curl our toes under, come back into downward dog. And we're gonna find flip the dog. Let's see if I can remember all this on the other side. That'll be interesting. Okay, left foot reaches up towards the sky, bending at the left knee, opening the hips towards the left side. Maybe you make some circles in your hip. All right, so if downward dog is not fun for you, for whatever reason, you can always find dolphin pose, puppy pose. All right, if you're in this awkward downward dog, we're gonna do a little flip. So right hand stays on the earth, right toes stay on the earth. We're gonna pivot on the back foot, slowly start to shift so that we draw the left foot down back behind us, bring the knees kind of like a reverse table, reach the left arm up, maybe back behind you. And then slowly make your way back into your downward dog. Allowing yourself to come towards the front of the mat, forward fold. Allowing yourself, Sometimes I find interesting ways to say things. Okay, forward fold. And on your next inhale, arms reach out towards the side, reverse swan dive up, reach up, hold the sun. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, other side, inhale, arms reach up towards the sun. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Let's step the right foot back. So warrior one or high lunge. Squaring the hips towards the front of your mat. All right, draw the navel in, reach the crown up high, reach Hinge forward from the hips. Sorry, reach the arms back behind you. Length, length, length. Maybe even coming up high on those back toes if you're in a high lunge. Come back up, reach the arms up towards the light. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Exhale, hands come back behind you. Draw the navel in, hinge forward from the hips. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sun. Last one, exhale, hinge forward. Shift your weight into your front foot, right foot comes up, whoops, off the earth. Reach the right foot, right leg long behind you. So we want to imagine that that inner right thigh is rolling up towards the sky. That'll help us kind of turn the hips, square the hips to the earth. And then find what feels good for you here with the arms. Woo! If you fall out, doesn't matter. No. All right, and whenever you're ready, stepping that right foot back behind you, warrior one or high lunge. Some days I am very grateful for this wall beside me. Yoga teacher down. Okay, hands come down towards the earth. We're gonna come into that side plank. So find your variation. I'll find a modified. Right knee comes down towards the earth. Left foot comes out towards the left side. Checking to make sure the right wrist is underneath the right shoulder. Lift the arm up. Maybe you kickstand the right foot back. Or come up onto the pinky toe edge of the right foot. Deep inhales, long, slow exhales. All right, left hand comes down. Let's make our way back into downward dog. Step around. All right, then right foot reaches up towards the sky. Bending the right knee, opening the hips towards the right side. Maybe you make circles in the hip, in the ankle, whatever feels good for you here. All right, we're gonna find that pivot. So pivot on the back toes, on the left toes. Slowly allowing yourself to turn so that that right foot can step down back behind you. Spin the feet towards the front edge of the mat, or I guess that's back edge, whatever, towards the short edge of the mat. Right arm reaches up, maybe back. Heart opens up towards the sun. If you're outside, like literally up towards the sun. All right, slowly make your way back around into your tabletop and then into child's pose. Maybe you take a drink if you need one. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. Can you find a place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion within yourself, for yourself? What loving, kind words can you say to yourself to light yourself up from the inside? All right, let's make our way into a tabletop pose. Shift your weight forward, tuck the elbows in by your sides and gently lower all the way down towards the earth. Okay, so your choice of a back bend here, maybe it's baby cobra, or maybe it's this awkward variation. I don't know what it's called. Where you bring the hands out towards the sides, you're creating like 90-degree angles here in your arms. You're coming up on the fingertips. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, reach the legs long behind you. Tops of the feet come down to the earth, lift the heart, coming up onto fingertips, or whatever variation you're in. Then perhaps you find movement here. Maybe you look over one shoulder and then look over the other shoulder. Keep pushing the tops of the feet down. And exhale to lower. Let's make our way into a tabletop pose. And finding some cat-cow here, around the spine, tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, and then move in the opposite direction. Heart opens up towards the sun, tailbone points up towards the sky. Just moving at your own pace. Maybe it's another movement that feels best for you in your back. All right, so let's come back to tabletop. We're going to step the right foot forward between the hands. Okay, our horizon lunge here. So in our horizon lunge, we walk the right foot over towards the right side. So toes point out towards the right side. This might be it. This might be as far as you go. You might reach the arm towards the front of your mat, or come up on the back toes. Spin the back foot so that the pinky toe edge of the foot comes down towards the earth. Push into the right foot. Lift the right hand up towards the sky, maybe even towards the front of your mat. In our horizon lunge, if you're up on the pinky toe edge, you have an option here. You can always start to gently allow the left hip to sink down towards the earth. Woo-hoo. All right, let's bring that right hand back down underneath the right shoulder. Come into tabletop. Horizon lunge on the other side. Left foot steps forward. You're gonna walk the left foot over towards the left side, toes point out towards the side. Okay, so maybe this is as far as you go, or maybe you come up on the back toe, spin the back foot, pinky toe edge to the earth. Try not to lock out that right arm. Reach the left arm up towards the sky. Maybe even towards the front of the mat. Feel length here along the left side body. Maybe you find that hip dip. Left arm reaches back up towards the sky. Slowly start to allow that left hip to sink down towards the earth. Try not to collapse in on the right arm. It's a lot for the right arm. And making your way back very slowly, very gently into tabletop. Whew. Shift your weight forward. Tuck the elbows lower to the earth. Our Sphinx pose. So forearms come down to the earth, elbows underneath the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. All right, so feet, we're gonna reach the legs nice and long behind us. So your choice, depending on what feels best for you in your body. Feet can be hip distance apart. Maybe toes come together, heels come apart. Or maybe feet come wide on the mat. What feels good for you in your back? All right, so continue rolling the shoulders back and down the spine. And then it's like we are energetically bringing the arms in towards the chest. Pull the arms in, send the heart forward. Try not to collapse in on the arms. We're using a lot of muscle strength from our back. And exhale to lower. Let's bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet from side to side. All right, so from here, you're gonna make your way back into your tabletop pose. Curl the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward dog. And then walking your feet up towards the front of your mat into a forward fold. On your next inhale, arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up into extended mountain, hold the sun. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, finding your mountain pose. So we're gonna come into that half moon pose. Finding blocks if you have them. Also, if you don't have blocks or if blocks just are not comfortable to use for this pose, you can use a chair. Bring over my chair. Or a wall even, a wall can be helpful for your hand as well. All right, half moon, ready? We're going to inhale, bring the arms up, extended mountain. Exhale, flat back swan, diving down, forward fold. Let's take a big step back here with the left foot. A left foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. Front heel intersects with the middle of the back foot, or maybe it's a little bit more towards the toes, a little more towards the heels. You'll notice how it feels when you windmill yourself up into warrior two. So you want to play around a little bit. Just depends on your hips, where you want that front foot to intersect, but we want to square the hips towards the long edge of the mat. All right, so first, let's find a side angle. Right forearm comes down to the right thigh, left arm reaches up, maybe over towards the front of the mat. Palm faces down towards the earth. Try not to collapse in on the right arm. Windmilling the arms back up to warrior two. Let's find a reverse warrior. Backhand comes down, front palm turns up. Try and keep the hips where they are and reach up and over from the waist, opening the heart up towards the sun. I say sky a lot. I could say sun a lot, right? All right, windmill the hands back to warrior two. If you're going to use a chair, hand can come reach over towards that chair. If you're going to use a block, Hand's going to reach over for the block. Block comes forward and to the right. I'm still going to run into my chair. You're going to shift your weight, keep the toes of the right foot pointing forward, keep the hips turned towards the left side, shift the weight forward, walk that block out if you need to, and then extend the left leg long behind you. So we're still turning the hips, opening the hips towards the long edge of the mat. Perhaps you imagine a wall behind you, so hips. Good thing there was a wall behind me. Hips, head, shoulders come up against the wall. Option for a chair. Option for a wall. See if I can do it against the wall. There we go. One more round of breath here. Awesome. Use whatever's near you, a table. Slowly, slowly step that left foot back. Back into your warrior two. All right, ready? We're gonna just do a little bit of a spin. I don't even know what to call it, right? We're gonna windmill the arms forward, turn the body forward, step the left foot forward, mountain pose. Other side. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, flat back, forward fold. Let's step the right foot back, parallel to the short edge of the mat. Find your block. Windmill the arms up, warrior two. Turning the hips towards the long edge of the mat. So we want to keep them turned towards that long edge as much throughout this part of our practice as we can. Checking your front knee. Okay, side angle, left forearm comes to left thigh. Right arm reaches up, maybe over towards the front of the mat, palm faces down. Still bend into that front knee. Maybe even see if you can challenge yourself by taking that left hand off, left arm off of your leg. Windmill the arms back to warrior two. Square the hips. Reverse warrior, back hand comes down. Hips stay where they are. Reach up and over from the waist. Heart opens up towards the sun. Feeling the light from the sun, even if you're inside. Windmilling the arms back to warrior two. Reach for your block. Reach the block forward and to the left. And as you go through this, depending on your body, you may have to continue to walk the block forward as you step the right foot in to find a good spot. Okay, keep the hips square towards the long edge of the mat as much as you comfortably can, and then lift the right foot. I have some half moons. One more round of breath. Doing good, doing good. And then slowly bend into that front knee, step the right foot back. Warrior two, we lost someone. Very good, let's windmill, no, wait. Yes, we're gonna step that right foot forward. So windmill the arms forward, step the right foot forward. Shake it out, get a drink. All right, super hard stuff is over. We only have two more poses. Wait, our very lovely transition to the floor. Let's come into tabletop. Any way that's comfortable for you. Shift the weight forward, tuck the elbows in, lower all the way to the earth. All right, bow pose. So a couple options for bow pose here. You can come into half bow if you prefer. I'll walk you through that. If you like a full bow and you know kind of what you're doing, then feel free to come into that. All right, so our half bow, we're going to bring our arms to the earth, kind of like in our Sphinx pose. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take the right arm and spin it so that it's going the same edge as the short edge, same direction as the short edge of the mat. All right, so that's going to be your base to kind of hold you down or hold you up, I mean. So push into that arm to lift the heart up off the earth. We're going to bend the left leg, activate the left foot. So it's like you're pressing on the gas pedal or Barbie feet. Left arm reaches up and back behind you for the shoelace portion of that foot. All right, so maybe you push the foot into the hand, lift the heart. Maybe you start to kick that foot up towards the sky. You can be in full bow if you prefer. Squeeze the inner thighs towards center. We often have a tendency to splay that leg out, the bent knee out towards the side. Exhale, release and lower, come on down. Take a breath. All right, we're gonna make our way over to the other side or your second bow. Forearms to the earth, like in Sphinx pose. Spinning the left arm so it's going the same direction as the short edge of the mat. Bending the right knee, activate the right foot. Reaching the right arm up and back behind you. Find the shoelace portion of the foot. So we want to lift the heart up off the earth, maybe even push into the arm to lift the heart. With the right foot active, kick the foot back into the hand and then maybe start to lift the foot up towards the sun. Squeeze the inner thighs towards center. Keep the right foot active. Looks simple. A lot of these things look simple, but woo-hoo-hoo. Lift, lift, lift. And exhale to lower. Release the legs. Perhaps you find a crocodile pose, hands underneath the forehead. Maybe the feet come wide on the mat, maybe the toes point out. Okay. So next pose, last card is a frog pose, but I'm gonna bring us into something a little bit different. Unless you like frog, you want to come into frog, you certainly can. We're gonna come into kind of like a cuddle pose here on the earth. All right, so we're gonna roll over onto our right arm. So right arm comes out long, roll over onto the right arm, onto your right side. All right, and then you're gonna bring that right knee in, kind of like you're cuddling here. If you want to, you can always place a blanket underneath the left knee for support. Okay, and it's kind of like gonna be like a half frog kind of variation. So we're gonna try and bring the ankle underneath the knee. So 90-degree angle here. And then slowly roll over as far as you feel comfortable going onto that front body, onto your front body. Maybe hands come underneath the forehead. Slowing down your breath. Softening the hips. Maybe you start to shift a little more so the hips come down towards the earth a little bit more. All right, so another variation, if you wish, is to come up onto forearms, kind of like you did in Sphinx pose. Shoulders roll back and down, push the arms into the earth, lift the shoulders. Notice what happens to the hips and then soften the hips. All right, let's gently lower all the way back down. Rolling over onto that right side, onto the right arm. And then making your way over to the other side, rolling onto the left arm. Finding your cuddle pose here. So, and maybe bringing your blanket over to your knee if you wish. And then ankle underneath the knee. Slowly start to shift, roll over onto your front body as far as you feel comfortable. Maybe you shimmy a little bit so that hips turn a little bit more down towards the earth. You may also play with the placement of the knee, maybe slide the knee up closer towards towards your head or down towards the feet. Up towards the head is a little bit more intense. Perhaps you find that variation with forearms, Sphinx arms here. Lift the heart. Soften the hips. Gently making your way down towards the earth. If you're up on forearms, let's roll over onto the left side. All right, Shavasana or any final resting pose for you. Maybe you just roll right back over onto your back, or onto the front body. Maybe you find a different variation. Could even be legs up the wall or legs up the chair, blocks, bolsters, whatever feels comfortable for you. Yeah, we did everything. All right. So making yourself nice and comfortable as you can. You can even use props underneath the knees to soften the back. Once you find a comfortable place here, we'll take 3 collective breaths. So exhale, release everything. Inhaling through the nose, allow the diaphragm to expand. Exhale. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling in through the nose. Last one, exhale everything out. Sink and settle. Releasing any tension that you feel in your forehead, in your jaw. In your shoulders. And your hips. So this time of year, we can feel the motivation to become active, to tend to our gardens, our bodies, our social networks as much as we can right now. But this can also be a good time to find a meditation practice because of all the activity. So softening here. See if you can find a still point on the earth. There may be an undercurrent of restlessness and presence and restlessness, and it may be difficult to relax. Maybe nighttime, it might be difficult to sleep. I know I've been experiencing that. But as much as you can, sink and settle. Maybe imagine the earth is supporting you, holding you, and imagine the sun shining down onto your body, providing you with light, with warmth, with peace. Feeling the warmth of the sun's rays. Feeling the light and peace slowly moving into your body. Feeling it move through your skin, the upper part of your body. Feel softening. Allow the sun's rays to slowly start moving down through your body, all the way down to the touch points on the earth. Perhaps you take a moment here to reflect on the light within yourself, this place of peace, love, kindness, and compassion. Perhaps you reflect on how you were able to find that during your practice today. Find that compassion for yourself, that love, that light, a kindness. If it's difficult to find this, perhaps there is something you need to release your hold on, to let go of. Maybe it's expectations of yourself. Maybe it's taking the physical practice seriously. We don't need to take it seriously. It is this moment in our practice that is the most important. And perhaps saying to yourself, I am love, I am light. I am love, I am light. 1111, make a wish. And then finding some small movements in your body. Maybe those small movements become bigger movements. Perhaps you rock your head from side to side. And then I invite you to take a moment here to find gratitude. Perhaps you thank yourself for carving out this time to take care of your body, your mind, and your heart. Whenever you're ready, rolling over to one side and then gently making your way up to seated. And then lowering or closing your eyes. On your inhale, inhaling, I am love. Exhaling, I am light. Inhaling, I am love. Exhaling, I am light. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful weekend.